What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. We are live on X, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Here to talk some Green Bay Packers. We got an awesome show lined up for you guys and gals on this glorious Sunday, July the 20th, just a few days away from training camp being a full go, open practice to the public. Really, really excited to get this season kicked off. And I just want to say thanks to everybody supporting the channel. Tonight, we got a lot of stuff on tap. We got NFC North injuries. We're going to take you around the NFC North and kind of give you an update. The Lions have gotten bit by the injury bug pretty harshly. We'll also cover maybe one or two injuries from the Bears and touch on the Vikings if there's anything there. Obviously, we've been covering the Packers pretty extensively here lately in terms of the PUP list, the DFI, all that stuff coming down the stretch here. Now, we're also going to hit on the Karlaftis contract extension there from the Kansas City Chiefs, kind of compare and contrast to that of Garry's contract and production as well. Tucker Kraft deep dive, we're going to hit that. And also, Tucker Kraft Chalk Talk will cover all the touchdowns that Tucker Kraft had last year, at least the receiving touchdowns. He may have had a rushing touchdown, I'm not sure. But we'll dive into all that, and then we'll end the show with a giveaway. So if you're new here, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for us. Hit like, hit subscribe. Like I said, if it's your first time here, welcome into PTA. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're fans just like you. We're covering the team pretty much on a daily basis. Going to be giving you all kinds of content throughout the year. We'll have training camp updates every single day. In some cases, multiple times a day, we'll be going live, just giving you all the news out of Packers camp. And we'll also be doing pregame shows, postgame shows. We'll do some watch parties for the preseason and family night. The whole 9 yards. So if you like that kind of daily Packers content, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Tim, you doing all right tonight, Bubba?
Yes, sir. I ate too much food for dinner, so if I start nodding off during the pod, don't take it personal, Clayton. It's not your fault.
It's all good, man. It is all good. It happens to the best of us for sure, man. You get in that carb coma, you never know what's going to hit you. So I see the chat is already on fire. Thanks, everybody, for joining in this evening. 2-0 for this as Lions got a taste of their own kneecaps. You hit the nail on the head there, buddy. Let's jump right into it. So, listen, in no way, shape, or form am I, celebrating injuries. Does it mean the Lions are gonna hit rock bottom? No, but I'll tell you, man, that uphill climb of repeating in the NFC North, having already lost your OC, you lost your DC, and now you're looking to try to step up and repeat in the North. These injuries are really starting to pile up. First one that came down the stretch here earlier today, Tim, I'm going to try to say the name right. Defensive tackle Levi. I've heard it said about 6 different ways. Uzarike. All right, We're going to say Uzarike is what I heard earlier today on a pod I was listening to, so we'll go with that. Underwent ACL surgery and will miss the entire 2025 NFL season per head coach Dan Campbell. Obviously, it was Ari Mirov that put that tweet out there. Now, if you're wondering how good is Uzarike, he's pretty darn good, man. Matter of fact, why don't we just go next to the PFF grades here real quick just to kind of show you what they're missing now, Tim, in terms of defensive linemen, man. And this is starting to get rough. You guys know earlier, or I should say later last year in the season, you had Aleem, I think is how you say it, McNeil, arguably their best interior defensive lineman, right? He was the 9th highest graded defensive tackle amongst all defensive linemen in the entire National Football League, had a 79.6. He's going to be out, from what I'm hearing, is probably going to be somewhere in November. So similar to the Christian Watson time frame there. Now today, Levi Uzarike, obviously, he was the 23rd highest graded defensive lineman. So, Tim, what you've got here, man, is 2 interior guys on this defensive front for the Detroit Lions that have already lost their defensive coordinator, going obviously to be the head coach of the New York Jets, man. This is looking like an uphill battle for the Lions, but you can never rule a good team out, man. This definitely hurts, though, for sure.
Absolutely. And like you said, we're not going to be classless like some Lions fans are out there and root for guys to be injured. It's not cool. But I will say it couldn't have happened to a better team. I don't know if that makes any sense. That's about as far as I'm willing to go with it. So you're right. I mean, they're going to have their hands full here. Camp hasn't even gotten kicked off yet. They've got a long list of, like you said, some key positions here dealing with some, everything from minor to mid-major to major injuries on this Detroit Lions defensive side of the football. So, yeah, if you're a Packer fan, I mean, I call it what it is. It's good news for us. But like you said, man, the good teams and the great teams, they find a way to get through the adversity, and guys step up, right? So if you've got a good football team put together, injuries can make it difficult, but it doesn't mean your season's over before it starts. So we got to keep that in mind too.
Got to be able to overcome the injuries. I mean, the Packers did it the year they won the Super Bowl back in 2010. They were just eviscerated with injuries. I remember that like it was yesterday. But another injury surfaced today as well. Report came out of Detroit Lions training camp as the pups go crazy downstairs. I'm sure that's important. Lions second-year cornerback Enos Rakestraw left practice early and is being evaluated for a chest injury per the team. Now, last I heard, I think it said it was a chest contusion, and it sounded like it wasn't as major as originally thought. So we'll kind of keep up with the timeline there. It's 2-0 this says in the chat, Tim. Not Tim's guy. This was Tim's guy. You guys
the one that got away, right?
Yeah.
Now, it was Rakestraw last year, and this year it was Jaden Higgins, right? The ones that got away.
Yeah, and here with Rakestraw, to be completely upfront, PFF isn't everything. PFF had him graded out in the 40s as a rookie. Does that mean he's going to be a bad pro? No, just means he got off to a slow start in terms of PFF, right? So
yeah, and he was banged up last year too, correct? I believe he dealt with some injuries last year too. I don't think he played a full season.
Yeah, he may have. I can't remember, to be quite honest with you. I just remember him getting real grabby. I remember that being a talking point. Was he had a lot of penalties, a lot of defensive holding, pass interference, things like that. So, but nonetheless, man, it's a starting corner. There's no two ways about that. So you lose a starting corner, it is kind of a big deal. Moving along here, Mizzou DB liked him also. There was a lot of people. Like I said, Tim was leading the charge, but there was a lot of folks that liked Rakestraw. So the Detroit Lions injuries up to this point, all right? And this was put out by Play Fantasy Plus over on X. Levi Onwuzurike, Halim McNeil, Khalil Dorsey, Miles Frazier, Mekhi Wingo, Taylor Decker, Josh Paschal, Amick Robertson, Marcus Davenport, Jack Campbell, Natane Muti, and training camp's just getting underway. So they've got a huge list. You guys remember seeing our list yesterday, right? And I know some Packer fans are a little bit kind of freaked out, like, oh, man, the injury bug's already got us. This is what the injury bug looks like right here. I think we're going to be just fine. And who knows, man, a good majority of these players will probably be back in time for the season for the Detroit Lions. But, Tim, these are piling up, man. You're seeing some big names there. Jack Campbell, Marcus Davenport. Like we said, they're two best interior defensive linemen. Mekhi Wingo, not sure how he's been grading out here lately, but was a pretty good football player. I think Decker is on the offensive line as well. So, it's starting to pile up for Detroit for sure.
Yeah, they better hope Aiden Hutchinson's ahead of schedule, right? I mean, they're going to need him more than ever, really. And but a lot of times this early, right? We're just getting into camp. A lot of this could be precautionary too. Maybe they're just they want to hold these guys out for a week or two, rather than having them go out there during camp and make something worse. But this does not look good, not just for Detroit, but any football team in this type of situation. This many guys banged up, it's not good.
And again, this was as of 9:23 a.m. Eastern time earlier this morning. So there may have been more information come out. You guys go check that and see. But again, a lot of injuries the Detroit Lions are dealing with. Now let's shift gears to the Chicago Bears in the North. And they had an injury here. It looks like Bears placed cornerback Jalen Johnson and three others on active/non-football injury list. Now, typically the non-football injury list, it can be a multitude of things. Most of the time, more times than not, it's not serious. But nonetheless, Jalen Johnson, one of their best corners, I think he led them in interceptions 2 years ago. Listen, I'm not going to pile on too hard here with Jalen Johnson. I'm pretty sure, was that not the corner that prayed over Christian Watson when he tore the ACL?
Yes, it was. It was.
So you hate to see the good guys go. You hate to see anybody go down with an injury, but the good guys, obviously, I'm rooting against him every Sunday he plays football. Don't take this the wrong way, but it was very, very classy move seeing him pray over Christian like that.
Absolutely. You love to see that. And, a lot of the negative stuff seems to get highlighted a lot these days, but it's important to remember that there's a lot of that in the league, a lot of positivity. A lot of dudes are, playing for each other, even your opponent out there. You guys are warriors. on the field, and it's a respect thing. And I think it was a rare bit of class there from a Chicago Bear. We'll take that. Maybe that'll be contagious, and we'll find some class with some of our other division rivals, but I won't hold my breath. But the NFI list is tricky too this time of year, right, Clay? I mean, you can't tell me every one of these names on all these teams that they're all actually hurt, right? I mean, sometimes you park a guy on the NFI list till you sort other things out,
Right.
I won't get too speculative, but I think you get where I'm going with that.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it, man. That's the old Bill Belichick trick too. When you're trying to inflate the numbers a little bit, get some extra bodies in for physicals, things like that. All of a sudden, players stub a toe or something. They're on a list to not top an active spot. But 2-0 for this says breaking news: the entire Bears roster is injured. Entire Bears roster is injured by being on the Bears roster. So there you go.
You know what probably injured them is they showed up day one and they heard,
"Get ready to go."
That would have injured me. I think I'd have been like, all right, let's go ahead and demand a trade. This dude's a little bit weird. Zach Pearson at Zach_Pearson over on X said the Bears have placed the following players on active/non-football injury list. This was as of yesterday. Okay, so DB Jalen Johnson, we talked about, quarterback Case Keenum, wide receiver Jade Walker, and running back Ian Wheeler. So they got a much smaller list, obviously, than some of the names that are being mentioned for the Detroit Lions. And again, I didn't see anything on the Minnesota Vikings. You guys know J.J. McCarthy is healthy, their new starting quarterback, who was a rookie last year, didn't get to practice with the team at all because he got hurt preseason, if I remember correctly, I think during training camp. So they're trying to work that out with a new starting quarterback, obviously with the departure of Sam Darnold going to, I believe it was Seattle, if I remember correctly. So Minnesota seems to be somewhat, pretty healthy, but they're dealing with that new quarterback. So everybody's got their own issues. The Packers, we got our issues. Our number one receiver in Christian Watson, he's going to be out till, late October, early November, somewhere around that time frame. Everybody's dealing with something. But it seems like it's gotten a hold of the Lions a little bit harder than everybody else. Tim, you got anything else to add to the NFC North, kind of around the North real quick?
Thinking about the Vikings, right? KLC had some changes with his staff as well, correct? They've got a few new faces, I believe, this year.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I should probably know that answer, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, everybody usually has some kind of turnover, right? Yeah. It's just rare that you lose your OC and your DC like Detroit did. I mean, you talk to Lions fans like, oh, it ain't no big deal. And I'm going, man, I don't know if I was a Packer fan, right, and we had lost, an OC and a DC at the same time, we've replaced offensive coordinators, right? We've done that time and time again, it seems like. But defensive coordinators, it's more of replacing them to upgrade, right? Yeah. In this case, it's kind of like, all right, you promote from within, I believe, for both positions. No, offensively, I think they promoted from within. Defensively, they went and got, I want to say it was Dennis Allen. I could be wrong there. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about the Vikings staff turnover, to be honest with you. So, all right.
I don't pay too much attention either. So, I don't blame you. I don't want to voluntarily go to that website, right?
Oh, never, man, never. All right, so there's just your update around the NFC North. Now, let's shift gears. There was some news that broke earlier today from a contract standpoint, and I wanted to kind of compare apples to apples here and dive into this. As you can see, we put an article up over on our Patreon group. If you want to join our Patreon community, just scan the QR code in the upper right or go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. It also gets you entered into the giveaways. We're going to be giving away an autographed Kingsley Enagbare rookie card for anyone who was a member as of midnight last night, or 11:59 p.m. Eastern last night. And that also includes the YouTube members as well. So if you want to enter yourself into the future giveaways, just hit that join tab. You can go that route here on YouTube and just join as a member or join our Patreon community. So the Chiefs in 2022 first-round pick George Karlaftis reached agreement today on a 4-year, $93 million contract extension that includes $62 million guaranteed per his agency, the Wynn Sports Group. All right. Karlaftis posted 24.5 sacks during his first 3 seasons in Kansas City, and now will continue as a focal point of the Chiefs' defense. So, seen a lot of reaction to this.
You said Kansas City and Chiefs, Clayton. AFAM's going to pop up if you say it one more time.
Oh, I guarantee you. He probably broke this news way before any of us did. I guarantee you that. So, again, when you look at those sack numbers, it's hard to not, okay, this is, their edge defender they're paying top money to, right? Okay, outside of Chris Jones, who we know he plays 3 tech, he could play 1, he could play edge. But when you look at the statistics, all right, the last 3 seasons, what's that come out to? 8 sacks a year, right? I wonder if anybody's kicking and screaming saying, oh my God, we overpaid for this guy because he didn't have 10 sacks, didn't have double-digit sacks that we hear all the time with Rashawn Garry. So what I thought, let's do a little comp here real quick, all right? We'll comp the contract in a minute. But looking at the last 3 years, right, with Karlaftis, look at the quarterback pressure percentage. Last year, 9.6%. I repeat, 9.6%. Rashawn Garry, 13.4%. Let's go back one more year, 2023, 12.8%. Rashawn Garry, 17.4%. The year before, Karlaftis' rookie year, 8% pressure rate. And the year before that with Garry, 19% pressure rate. And if you're going, well, that was his rookie year, Clayton. Okay, let's go back to Gary's rookie year in 2019, 12.3%. Significantly higher than Karlaftis. Now, why am I comping those players? Because, again, now it comes down to, all right, what is the market for edge defenders? Is it worth it? Is Garry worth the money? Is Karlaftis worth the money? First of all, the player is worth whatever a team is willing to pay them. Period, case closed. Goes for anything else in the world, right? So when you look at those numbers and you comp, the other thing I want to point out here, Karlaftis, when you look at the sacks, he had 8 sacks last year. Garry had 7.5, right? And you're going, okay, you have more sacks than him, Clayton. Look at the snaps, though, guys. Let's look at the pass rush snaps. 511 pass rush snaps to Gary's 389 because of that heavy rotation that Matt LaFleur has always used since he got to Green Bay, no matter who the DC was, heavy pass rusher, edge, defensive lineman, really in general, heavy rotation that they use. So he had a higher sack rate than Karlaftis, right? When you look at the run stops, his stop rate, Karlaftis had 248 run defensive snaps, right, with 26 stops. Garry only had 210 run defense snaps, so 38 less with 13 more run stops. But again, Rashawn Garry, you're cracking me up with that. Rashawn Garry led the league in terms of edge defenders. All edge defenders in the NFL, he led them in run stops. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So again, overall snaps last year, Karlaftis 786 snaps to Garry 605. If Garry had 130 more snaps, he would have blown by him in sacks. He already smoked his head in a quarterback pressure percentage and run stops, along with run stop percentage. So he would have he probably would have finished with 50 run stops if he'd have played the same amount of snaps that Karlaftis did last year. So again, this isn't about who's the better edge rusher. It's okay. Now we've comped. Garry beat him in every statistical category on a per snap basis, right? Now let's go to the contract. Rashawn Garry hit, and we're going to focus on a couple of different angles here, okay? Rashawn Gary's contract, when he got the extension, was 4 years, $96 million. You go, whoo, it's a lot of money, right? Look at the guaranteed, $34.6 million in guaranteed money, 34.6. Now, what is Karlaftis's? His is a 4-year, $93 million. So Garry had him beat by $3 million overall. But look at the guaranteed money, Tim, $62 million guaranteed. So with that,
that's
being
a lot of cheddar, man.
Mm-hmm. And this is a newer contract. The bar is always going to be raised. But that $62 million, the reason that's important, guys, you guys know I'm a Garry fan. I'm a Garry believer. I mean, I watch him, every year, and I'm expecting, okay, is this going to be the drop-off? Is this going to be when he falls off the table? Is this going to be where the Packers look to replace him in part ways? Because you know what we're seeing with Elton right now, right? When they hit 30, the Packers get real skittish. It's rare they give that third contract to someone that's approaching 30 or cracks the age of 30. Now, that being said, cap hit for Rashawn Garry this year. This is why the guaranteed money matters. $25.7 million this year, and he's got a $25.5 million dead cap. So next year, with 2 years left on his contract, he turns 29 years old. His cap hit is $28 million, and his dead cap is $17 million, meaning you can free up roughly $11 million if you just part ways next year. And I don't think they're looking to do that next year, Tim. However, when he reaches the age of 30, look at the structure of this contract. his cap hit jumps to $31 million, but the dead cap is only $8 million. Just like how Elton Jenkins' contract is structured, get the guaranteed money out of the way the first couple of years. A 4-year deal is really a 3-year deal. A 3-year deal is really a 2-year deal. That's the way Goody and Russ Ball operate.
Look at Kenny Clark's contract, right?
Exactly. Now, when you look at Karlaftis, that $62 million, boys, I'm telling you, essentially what that means is he's going to be getting a 3-year deal worth, whatever, the $20 million per in just guaranteed no matter what. That tells me they won't be able to part ways and come out in the black until that 4th year of the contract. So that's the difference between Rashawn Gary's, whatever it was, $34.6 million in guarantee and Karlaftis' $62 million in guarantee. And again, I bring this up, Tim, and we'll get ready to move on. I'll get your take on it. I bring this up because the fans that pretend like Rashawn Gary is a bad player, it's not so much the fans now as it's the media. That's what I keep saying fans, but I'm just telling you right now, man, the media, especially in the ESPN Milwaukee media, you would think this dude's an absolute scrub.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
Every time we comp him to somebody, we comp him to the pressure rate against TJ Watt last year. Smoked TJ Watt in quarterback pressure percentage. He smoked our boy Max Crosby in quarterback percentage, right? He actually had the same amount of sacks as Max Crosby with far fewer snaps. And then when you compare the contractual aspect of the TJ Watt, who's going to be making $40 million on average per year, I don't know how you can look at this whole Rashawn Gary situation and not be happy with it, to be honest with you. So, what do you think?
That's me and his money.
What do you think here, man? How do you feel about this comp with Karlaftis? I'm not saying Karlaftis is a bad football player. I think he's a good football player, but it's important to compare apples to apples,
Yeah, and like you said, it's a fresh contract, right? Rashawn signed his deal. What was that, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so a lot can change in a short amount of time, really. And a year in NFL years it goes by really quickly when you really look at it. So, to your point about them possibly cutting bait after this season, I'm with you. I doubt it. I'm wondering if maybe they try a restructure, or maybe he wants a restructure before he's 30, depending on what kind of year he has this year. But I'm totally happy with Rashawn Gary and what we're paying the man for what we're getting. He's asked to play a couple of different roles in this defense, and unfortunately, those pass rush snaps they suffer when you're in a rotational lineup like we have here in Green Bay. Now, if we're talking about the possibility of an LVN getting kicked inside, possibly, right, Clayton? There might be some more snaps coming off the edge for Rashawn. So. I think it's going to be a matter of time before we really see what it's going to look like this year. But I think I speak for a lot of us where we'd all like to see him getting, more of those snaps in pass rushing situations, or at least being allowed to rush the passer and maybe not just, occupy a double or something. So, time will tell, but I don't know, man. I don't understand the Rashawn Gary hate. I really don't. I don't get it.
Yeah. And so when you look at it too, every year we try to find things in the offseason where we go, okay, this might be a trend, right? We talked a lot of RPO when I first started the show, the very first offseason. I think you're going to see a whole lot of RPO this year. We talked about that. Duo was a conversation as well. Last year, going into the year, we said not necessarily with the Packers, but look for 3 safety sets, right? 3 deep looks on defense across the league, and also look for the Packers and really the rest of the league to run more pistol because it got kind of re-implemented into the league. We've seen the Packers run quite a bit more pistol last year than we're accustomed to seeing. This year, Tim, the thing that sticks out to me is Rashawn Gary got 27 snaps at defensive tackle last year. And it kind of got me thinking, are they going to start
him inside?
Start trending him inside a little bit? I don't feel convicted enough in my study, my opinion on the matter to go, that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if you look up a time or two this year and go, was that Gary at 3 tech? I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, especially in pass rushing situations. Because again, we've seen it on tape quite a bit last year. So I say quite a bit more than we're accustomed to seeing Gary play inside. So, all right, there you go. Just a little it's important. Listen, this isn't a Chiefs podcast or a Chiefs show, but it's very important to keep your finger on the pulse when things happen around the league, because the league is cyclical. It's a copycat league. All these things are going to come into play together, right? And when you look at Lucas Van Ness this year, Tim, you come out this year and let's say he has similar numbers to Karlaftis, right? Or maybe a little bit less. That's the type of money you're going to be looking at paying LVN when it's time for his contract extension. If he reaches that level, he has not gotten near that level yet, although second half of the season last year, I want to say it was somewhere around 14 or 15% quarterback pressure rate.
Yeah.
Really a good place to end the season for sure. He finished the year a little less than 12%, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Hopefully he starts this season off where he left off last year, right? Keeping that same momentum.
Absolutely. All right, let's shift gears to a guy who's got a serious momentum for the Green Bay Packers, and that's our boy Tucker Kraft. I'm so excited. So excited this dude's a Green Bay Packer. So what I did was went through and did a quick little breakdown, and let's take a look at some of the numbers. And I want you guys to tell me in the chat, where do y'all think he ranks? Before we dive into the numbers, everybody rattle off where you think he ranks. Tucker Kraft amongst tight ends, would you say he's top 3, top 5, top 10, maybe even outside of the top 10? Maybe that's your opinion. Let us know in the chat. Where do you think Tucker Kraft ranks right now? And let's dive into it here. So I said Tucker Kraft becoming the next great Packers tight end. So what I did was just went random fire or rapid fire statistics that I think are important, okay, in terms of the tight end position. And we'll get to them here. Let's see what everybody says. Solder says 6. All right. Dead Fish says top 10. Holmes says 5. Cheese mode activated says top 3. Tony Holman says currently top 5. Ron Samville says top 7. Jagger says top 7. Coach Lynn says top 10. Stacy Mitchell top 5. Clint, the armchair quarterback, says 4. All right. Respect Oranges says 10, but can be 3 soon. I can see that. And Ed Madden says definitely top 10 and moving up. So let's get to it. In yards on fewer targets here, and it's what I want to point out. He was 7th in yards, okay, amongst tight ends on far fewer targets. And here's what I mean by that. Look at the yardage, Tim. Brock Bowers led the league at 1,194 yards. Trey McBride had 1,146. George Kittle, 1,106. Jonnu Smith, 884. Travis Kelce, 823. Sam Laporta, 726. And then our very own Tucker Kraft coming in at 707 receiving yards. Now, here's what's important to understand. Look at the target share. Brock Bowers, who led the way, had 153 targets. Trey McBride, who was second, had 147. George Kittle had 94. Jonnu Smith, 111. Travis Kelce, 133. Sam Laporta, 83. And the lowest of these within the top 7 here is Tucker Kraft with only 70 targets, finishing with 707 yards. Put that into perspective, guys. If he were to keep up that same rate of yardage per reception, and he got the same amount of targets that Brock Bowers got, you can double his numbers. That means Tucker Kraft was on pace to have 1,400 receiving yards as a tight end, as where Brock Bowers finished with 1,194, leading the National Football League. That's insane. Now, that's an insane amount of targets too, Tim, when you think about it, right? I mean, you're talking about targeting somebody 153 times at the tight end position. Let's say he just got, times one. Let's say if he got to 100 targets, he's cracking 1,000 yards receiving. It's happening. So the problem isn't Tucker Kraft's play as a receiver. The problem is he ain't getting enough targets. And I don't see it as a problem because I think that's what makes Matt LaFleur's offense so effective is you're moving the ball around. You're spreading the ball around. Yeah. What do you think about that there, man?
I think there's truth to what you're saying, and we're going to see a lot more of it this year because we've got even more targets in the building now between the receiving room, the running back room, and the tight end room. So, it's going to take every ounce of ability, that Coach LaFleur has to really, emphasize that, especially to Jordan as a quarterback. You have your favorites. I don't care what anyone says. Every quarterback's got his favorite targets, but you got to learn to trust your reads and trust the system. And, get to that next level and hit the open guy, hit it in time and spread that ball around. And I think maybe, just maybe, you could see Tuck Norris kind of becoming that security blanket for Jordan Love this year in an offense that's going to feature at least 2 or 3 new new weapons that he's never played football with. So you could look at guys like, Tucker Kraft to kind of be a security blanket for Jordan in a pinch. So hopefully he does get more targets. Only tight end on this list to start 17 games and play 17 games last year, also worth mentioning.
Yeah. Coach Lynn says we have to get Kraft the ball this year. I agree, man. If there's a player on the team that you want to see get more targets, it's him for me. And again, that comes down to Jordan getting to the check down sooner. You got to get to the check down on time, on schedule. I think he missed a lot of opportunities underneath with Tucker because Jordan was thinking home run, right? And when he hits those home runs, we love it. But obviously, when you see that ball fall incomplete on a 3rd and 7 and the ball's thrown 25 yards down the field, Tucker Kraft's running butt naked through the trailer park. That's a tough look. There's no doubt about it. We got Cheese Mode activated. Said, "What up, fellas? Love the content. Been watching a few years now. I appreciate you, Cheese Mode. Thanks for being a part of it, buddy. Glad you made it in here for the live show. Always welcome here, man. Hit that like for us if you don't care, and tell a friend." So 7th in yards is where Tucker Kraft finished. Now let's go to touchdowns. Tim, he finished 4th in receiving touchdowns last year. Here's the list: Mark Andrews 11, Jonnu Smith 8, George Kittle 8, Zach Ertz, Freiermuth, Sam Laporta, and Tucker Kraft all tied for 4th with 7 touchdown catches. And again, look at the targets, guys. 83 targets for Laporta. That's 13 more than Kraft. Freiermuth had 8 more targets than Kraft. Zach Ertz, 91. So he had 21 more targets than Kraft. 24 more targets for George Kittle. A whole bunch more for Jonnu Smith, who had 111 targets. The one that was the true red zone threat here, in my opinion, Mark Andrews, only 69 targets and had 11 touchdowns. That's pretty good touchdown ratio there. Now, I'm a fan that, like, I don't look at touchdowns and think of it as the ultimate stat. I think that can be misleading sometimes, right? Like you see a player that's finishes the season with 8 touchdowns and they've only got 300 yards receiving. It's like, okay, the object of the game is to score points, but it sounds like they were just kind of mopping up inside the red zone as opposed to helping your team move the ball down the field more consistently. Now, with that being said, Tucker Kraft, I can honestly say only one of his 7 did he not fight his ass off for. And when we do the talk here in a minute, Tim, we're going to break down his touchdowns. You'll see what I'm talking about. There's literally one RPR where he's just schemed wide open, a little toss and little toss and catch for a touchdown. But in terms of touchdowns, though, man, far fewer targets. Tucker Kraft definitely becoming a red zone threat for Jordan.
Yeah, and that's where we'd like to see him used a little bit more, right? I mean, it's kind of been really the Jaden Reed show or the Romeo Dobbs show down there in the red zone as far as, passing targets. So I think, having your big boy tight end playing physical ball in the red zone, that's going to help. So I hope they do make that an emphasis to utilize him more. Yeah.
Brent in Indiana with the super chat said, "Thanks for the content." Brent, thank you for the support, man. I know you've been here a very long time. Thank you for the kind words and thank you for the donation there, buddy. We appreciate you. Let's move it along now to yards per reception. I really like this stat. This is what do you do with your opportunities given, right? George Kittle led the way at 14.2 yards per catch, Tim. Tucker Kraft was behind him, only 1/10 of a yard per catch at 14.1 was his number. So Tucker Kraft finishes the season 2nd in yards per reception. Now, a lot of that has to do with Yak, but nonetheless, that's maximizing your opportunities right there, man. He had 50 catches on 70 targets for 707 yards, 7 touchdowns, and averaged 14.1 yards every time he caught the ball. So I need to try to pull the number on yards per target sometime. That would be a good one to see just how effective Tucker was there in that regard. But here you're seeing, man, and I forgot to write the last one down. I was going to try to chart these. So we're 7th, 4th, and now we're 2nd in yards per reception. That, to me, that's a little more meaningful, I think, than the touchdown number, to be honest with you.
I would agree. And that's, yards per reception. So that's kind of totaling up, the distance of the throw / the yak yards, right? It's like a combination.
The yards you gained. Yeah, the yards you gained on the catch. Yeah,
and we know the yak is a big part of, Tuck Norris's game, man. He's he's a master at catching that ball in the smallest of window and just trucking somebody or spinning out and getting upfield. It's fun to watch. So, it'll be interesting to see those numbers come up this year. I think as impressive as these numbers looked here in this category last year, I think we're going to see them do even better this year. I really do.
Ed Madden in the chat says, keep moving the sticks and the touches will be there. No doubt about it, man. Cheese Mode says in the chat, makes the most of his opportunities. He really does, for sure. Ron Sample, that's the key, Ed. More consistent offense leads to more touches. Coach Lynn says balling. So everybody agrees this is a pretty significant number here, man. It really is. So
I think so.
Yeah. Moving along, let's go to expected points added, kind of a little bit advanced metric, if you will, right? So this is receiving EPA, okay? So receiving EPA, George Kittle led the way at a plus 61.8. Jonnu Smith is a plus 52.4. Mark Andrews a plus 47.4. Trey McBride plus 45.7. And then our very own Tucker Kraft at a plus 32.6 is what he finished with in terms of receiving EPA, fifth best in the league. So once again, you got a stat here saying he's top 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think if you average that all out, right, I think certainly everyone who said top 10 was absolutely right. I mean, that's not even up for debate at this point. And, like you said, he's knocking on the door as a top 5 tight end, depending on how you're breaking things down. So this year right here could be the one for him, man.
Yeah. Moving along, let's go to Yak, the Yak monster. Kraft Yak and cheese, as we like to say here, right? 5th in yards after catch. So yards after catch, total Yak yards. Brock Bowers, 6'11". George Kittle, 551. Jonnu Smith, 544. Trey McBride, 540. Tucker Kraft, 481 yards after the catch. That's total yards after the catch, right? That's not on an average basis, obviously. So when you look at the targets, again, go back to target share. He finished 5th in Yak yards. Look at the guys ahead of him. He had 70 targets. Trey McBride ahead of him had 147 targets. Jonnu Smith had 111. George Kittle, 94. Brock Bowers, 153. If he got the same amount of targets as Brock Bowers, what would his Yak yardage be? He would definitely be first. There's no two ways about it. I mean, honestly, I feel comfortable saying he probably would have cracked 800 to 900 Yak yards if he'd got the same amount of targets as a Brock Bowers.
I agree. He has the lowest amount of targets of any relevant receiver or tight end on this list. Right. I mean, so, 70 targets. I mean, who's second on this list? Disley at 64. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's crazy. So to think of the production you're getting with that amount of targets is, if we step that number up even 10 to 15% more this year, he's probably going to really jump off the stat sheet when it comes to the Yak yards.
Yep, definitely. All right, moving along. Let's go to Yak over expected. Okay. Really like this number because it's kind of, it's going above and beyond for the Yak yards essentially, right? Tim, he finished 2nd in the league only behind George Kittle. George Kittle at a plus 164 Yak over expected. Tucker Kraft plus 159 with the next to closest player being Brock Bowers at a plus 121. So that kind of filters out a little bit more of the noise and shows you what they did with the opportunity there in terms of the specific situation they were placed in, him finishing 2nd in another important statistical category here.
So true.
Yeah.
I love this stuff, man. Oh, look, A-Fam's here and he's talking about a Packer. Kraft is legit. Look at that. What's up, A-Fam? I saw your mom in here earlier. I don't know if she's still hanging around.
Said something about going to the Waffle House, I believe. I didn't want to bring it up on the screen. We were rolling along here, but Tony Holman says he deserves a second contract. If you're talking about Tucker, I agree. Now, luckily, we ain't got to worry about it for a couple more years, right? So
in a couple of years, you know what we're going to be saying, Clayton.
Pay that man his money.
That is correct, sir. That is correct. So good to see you, A-Fam. Glad you swung through, man. 2nd in average separation yards per target. Now, you can look at this a number of different ways. I look at it really 2 different ways, Tim. Separation yardage is important. It's how consistent are you getting open, but also there can be some scheme involved. And with Tucker, you did see this. You seen where there was no one near him because they ran, maybe a delayed release or what we call a leak play, right? Stuff like that. However, you got to be in the right place at the right time to maximize on these opportunities. He finished 2nd in average separation at 4.4 yards. The only person better than him was Jatavian Sanders, who only had 43 targets. So Tucker Kraft coming in with 70 targets, and his average separation was 4.4. Noah Gray, listen to these names here, guys. Noah Gray only had 49 targets. Then you had Tyler Conklin, right? I believe it is. Isaiah Likely, obviously we know who he is. Noah Fant, who just got released, if I remember correctly, today. So it's pretty cool, man. You don't see any big names anywhere near Tucker Kraft. It's almost like the guys with far fewer targets and less play time are kind of filtered toward the top.
Yeah.
And then you look at Tucker Kraft, and he's again 70 targets, the most of anybody here toward the top of the list, other than Tyler Conklin. And you got to get all the way down to around the, what is it? The 12 mark.
Komet maybe, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Cole Kmet yet at 9, and then you got George Kittle at 12, Mark Andrews at 13, Dalton Kincaid at 14, Sam Laporte at 15, Brock Bowers at 16.
And those are all top tier names when we're talking about tight ends that you're going to put in that top 10 conversation, right?
Yeah. So in terms of
the list,
So in terms of separation, he's second, and I think that does have a little bit to do with route running along with scheme for sure. So, all right, now let's get to the negative aspect here. We just ran through all those numbers, right? 7th, 4th, 2nd, 5th, 2nd. You go to PFF, they said he's the 23rd best tight end in terms of grades with a 67.8. How the heck this makes sense is beyond me. However, you look at the run block grade they gave him was a 54.3. If you were to remove that run block grade, his grade would be significantly higher. If that run block grade was in the 60s, around 65, his overall PFF grade is going to skyrocket. It is. So just keep that in mind. Now, again, what does that mean? And I put run blocking breakdown, okay? Because, again, they don't give you any timestamps. They don't give you any tape. They don't give you, hey, watch this play. This was a bad blocking play for Tucker Kraft. That stuff kind of tough for me to buy into what they're selling here, right? Now, one thing that you can key in on, though, Tim, is the penalties. And when you look at the penalties going week by week, right, he had 2 in week 1, 1 in week 4, 1 in week 13, and that's it. The entire year. And in terms of run blocking snaps here, 441 run blocking opportunities for Tucker Kraft. He only had 4 penalties. That basically, guys, you're going to get a penalty out of Tucker Kraft every 100 blocking reps. That's pretty darn good in my opinion, especially for a second-year tight end who's so effective in catching the football. But what do you think about that, man, in terms of his run blocking grade, bringing down his overall PFF? Because every other statistic suggests he's way higher than 23rd. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. So, I mean, if you're using logic and reasoning here, yeah, you look at that run block grade, that's the only kind of, subpar grading that they're giving him. It's probably dragging his overall down. But then again, you never know with PFF, right? Why we can't put too much logic in? They're not willing to back any of it up with tape. So it's tough to call. But bottom line, we know Tucker can block. We've seen it. We know how effective he can be in both the pass and the run game as a blocker. However, I don't see us needing him to do as much blocking as maybe we've asked him to do in the past. I think he's going to be more of a featured target offensively. And I think if he stays north of that, 54, 55 run blocking grade, I'm okay with that. It's not plummeting his rating for me. And for all we know, he might get better. Let's see how he grades out this year. He might be in the 60s.
Yep. Ed Madden says, I want to see film on his run blocking. I don't believe in PFF. I'm with you. Yeah, Cheese Mode Activated says, we've seen Tuck dog walk guys up the field run blocking. It's so true. I remember us calling out pancakes all year for sure. So, again, I don't think he's like Gronk level run blocking. Don't take this the wrong way. But to pretend like he's a 54.3 just seems weird. But overall, though, PFF grade is rookie year 60.4. Again, what do we tell you guys to look out for with rookies? When a player grades out in the 60s as a rookie, according to PFF, typically it's a sign you got somebody there, right? You can grade out in the 50s and take a bigger step the second or third year and still make it. That can happen, don't get me wrong. But if someone hits that 60 mark, look out. Probably got you a good football player. In 2024, he increased to a 67.8. Tim, I wouldn't be surprised if he grades out in the 70s this year, man. So
I agree.
And again, only 4 penalties. So when you look at the run blocking grade in 2023, they gave him a 48.7. And then in 2024, he jumped to a 54.3. So even though that 54.3 in 2024 is bringing his overall grade down, or overall, PFF grade down, you've seen a pretty significant improvement there in his grade from that 48.7 to a 54.3. So
I agree.
Basically, what it comes down to, Tim, is in some of the more important statistics that we went through here, he finished 7th, 4th, 2nd, 5th, 2nd, and then the PFF grade was 27. So if we were to take these numbers, don't that feel like a top 5 tight end just based off of those specific statistics?
Absolutely. Especially, we're talking about 2 years of NFL football here, right? We're going into junior year here, right? It's time for year 3. And I don't care what anyone says. He's progressing along pretty fine as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what you think there, Clay, but this is what you want. Like you said, you're grading, in that, mid 60s range, relatively early in your career, and you're only going to get better as you progress. So I think it's fair. I would put Tuck probably right around that top 5 mark right now. Personally, that's just the homer in me, I guess. But like I said, we're in for a hell of a ride this year, guys. We talk about this wide receiver room. I'm going to be looking at that tight end room, and I fully expect Tuck to just keep doing what he's doing and continuing to get better. And I really think Musgrave is going to step up this year as well. So it's going to be a fun show to watch.
Yeah. So if you look at the key statistics, right, and you take where he ranked on those key statistics and divide it by the number of stats, his average place comes out to 3.6. Okay. Now, if you include the PFF grade where they said he was the 27th? I hope I got that right. I think that's right. 23rd. Oh boy, I sold him short there, Tim. So he's actually going to increase a little bit. Sorry, Coach Half. Man, get off my back. So let's see here. Let me get this real quick. 22 plus 24. Is that where he was ranked? Just trying to get you guys a roundabout number with the PFF grade. And then that's by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Tucker comes out to 6.5, including the bad PFF grade. I say bad, but the PFF grade is bringing him down. So somewhere between 3 and 6, where he's ranked, that number's probably around 5, right?
5, yeah.
So what you're seeing is a top 5 tight end in the most important statistical categories. Now he's got to go out and do it again, right? Who's to say he doesn't take a huge step back this year, right? I don't see it happening because the man works his ass off. He just seems like he's a legit. He loves the game. He loves the team. He's just a football player at heart. I expect him to get better year in and year out. Just got to stay healthy and just continue to take those small incremental steps forward, becoming a better football player. So anything else on the breakdown there, Tim, in terms of Tucker Kraft's numbers?
No, that was great. I'm glad you put that together. Gives us some
Look,
clarity heading into the season for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And again, this is the time to do, as you guys have noticed, we're going rapid fire with content, trying to get everybody ready for the season here because it's right around the corner and we have so much we still wanted to get to, which I think is awesome because I hear people taking, they're not doing pods right now. There's nothing to talk about. Like we ran out of time. Like you know what I mean, Tim? We didn't run out of content at all. So
that's right.
So now what we're going to do, guys, we're going to jump into some chalk talk. Okay. This is going to be Tucker Kraft's touchdowns from last year. Now, if this is your first time tuning in for Chalk Talk, just give you a little bit of a warning here. The stream may go down, okay? If the AI detects copyright, the stream will go down. It'll come right back. If it does that and you want to continue to tune in live, just hop over to X at Packers_access or go over to Rumble, Packer Fan Total Access, okay? And you can watch it live. However, we've done pretty good with the live streams. It hasn't gone down in a long, long time. We'll also edit this video out so you can watch it separately on our YouTube channel. And you can also find all of our Chalk Talk segments, our film breakdown. If you'll just go to the playlist on our channel and look for film breakdown, you'll see that there as well. So, Tim, let's hit on the touchdowns from Tucker Kraft here in 2024. Sound good?
Ready to go.
All right, let's do it. So first play here, this is against the Minnesota Vikings at Lambeau Field. We came out in 11 gun, dubs left, 22 Y flat RPO. Let me explain what all that means. Okay, so 11 gun is 1 running back, 1 tight end. That means 3 wide receivers is what you've got here. Okay, when we say dubs left, we're identifying strong left set, which means the tight end's on the left, but the dubs means doubles, just a, lesser, easier way of saying doubles. Doubles means 2 by 2. So what we're doing with this play call, guys, we're giving you 11, telling you it's a 3 wide receiver set because there's 1 running back, 1 tight end. We're telling you dubs left, it's a 2 by 2, strong left look, right? And now here comes the play. We're going to go 22 Y flat RPO. What's an RPO? It's a run pass option. So what's going to happen is with the 22, you're going to take the running back, who is the first number, represents the 2, and then the 2, the second number, the 2, is the gap in which you're going to run the football, which is going to be even right, odd left. So 22 is a gap right. So to me, this looks like it was a 22 RPO Y flat. So it's designed to be a run play here if the quarterback determines that. However, there's a pass option. There's going to be a flat look right here where Dontavion Wicks is going to go out to block. These guys are looking to get in here and block for the run. They're not even running routes on the bottom. So it's an RPO left look. So again, 11 gun, dubs left, 22 Y flat RPO. Here's the read. Jordan takes the snap, puts the ball in the belly of the running back while reading the hat count out here. Okay. So what he's noticing, if this guy fires or he stays at home and doesn't go to the flat, then the only person that can make this play on Tucker is going to be the safety, Harrison Smith. So what he's going to do is take the snap, ball in the belly, read the safety. You'll notice the stripe on Jordan's helmet, reading the safety. As soon as he sees him off the line of scrimmage, he's going to dump it in the flat to Tucker. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Our boy Harrison Smith reads it well. He attacks. But watch Tucker Kraft and the man bear he is. This is what I'm talking about. The touchdowns he got, there were no cheap touchdowns for Tucker Kraft. Just one on the RPR we'll show later. But Tim, watch this unfold, man, as our boy just does absolute work here. He does Harrison Smith dirty here. So watch the RPO, the RPO. Watch Tucker or Jordan Love's head. I'm going to go 50% here so you can really see it. Look at him read the safety. See him looking out there?
Yep.
Now, this is designed, if you want to, it may have actually been a B gap, which would have been a 24 run, but it's hard to tell with the zone blocking schemes. So if you hand this ball off, great, but the thing you want to attack with is the passing game, and you're reading the hat count. The hat count's even, but this guy's out of position, right? Harrison Smith's losing leverage here. So Jordan sees that, and he's going to dump it to Kraft here. Pull the ball out, get it out there quick. Look at Harrison, read it pretty good. We don't like you this, Jan, right? This don't look good.
I'll take Tuck Norris against the safety. Even someone like Harrison Smith.
Yeah. Tucker going to do some work here. Look at this. Get down, little boy. And then he's just going to run through the second guy straight into the end zone. Touchdown. That is what we're talking about with Yak. Now let's see it. His
name is Trucker Kraft, baby. Let's go.
Now let's see it from this angle. Look at Jordan. Read it. Pull it. Dump it. Look at Tucker. Lord have mercy. That should be
lower that shoulder. Love it.
That's like a crime in 3 different states, Tim. Look at this guy just assaulting people. And that's Harrison Smith, man. Right?
Yep.
Like that's not easy to do, man. That's a veteran, one of the harder hitting safeties in the National Football League. Tucker just sheds that one, runs right through the second defender.
I love how Smith went as low as he could, knowing that if he tried to wrap up top, he wouldn't have a chance in hell.
Yeah. And again, you got to give Dontavion Wicks a little credit here too, holding the point of attack. Look at our boy, just enough, right?
Yep.
Tucker, so let me finish him off for you. So there's the first touchdown, right? So again, there you're seeing a little RPO look. Love it. Now, next play, get it just the right frame here. So this play, a little bit longer-winded, okay? We're going to go 11 gun, dubs right, Z-zipper orbit, 26 fake, X-rub post, crossers, double flat. This
simple enough, right? That's simple.
This is Matt Floor, man, just being an absolute madman. So what's going to happen? First of all, 11 gun, we told you that, right? 1 running back, 1 tight end. That means it's a 3 wide receiver set. You do have a nasty split down here. We could have said dubs nasty if we wanted, right? Now, the Z is our boy Jaden Reed here. Now, you could call him the F if you want. Me personally, though, I've always been taught the X is the receiver on the line of scrimmage opposite the tight end. There's your tight end. There's your X. That would make him the F, and this is just a moving Z, okay? Now, in Matt LaFleur's offense, they may designate that as the F, that being Jaden Reed as the F, okay? If that's the case, so be it. Don't get too hung up on that stuff. But what's the zipper motion mean? Zipper orbit. When you do zipper motion, guys, you go across the formation and you come back, okay? You're just trying to gather information. Are they in man coverage or are they in zone? And also give yourself a running start from the original spot that you started at rather than just running straight off the line. Now, when it's Z zipper orbit motion is typically when you go around the back of the quarterback, right? In this case, with it being Z zipper orbit, he's going to Z over, zipper back, orbit motion back over to this side, right? And what Jordan's going to do, he's going to take the snap, right? And he's going to spin around and fake the handoff here. And I believe they've even got Elton Jenkins, the guard, pulling to the right to add even more confusion for the linebackers, okay? So let's talk about the rest of the play here. The rest of the play. So we got the 11 gun, dubs right, Z zipper orbit. Now we're going to go 26 fake. All right. And that fake is going to go to Jaden Reed. They're going to fake C gap run outside. That's what that red arrow is. Okay. That's the 26 fake again. Now this gets interesting because by the time he gets over here, Tim, you got a split back set. All right. Now you're going, okay, how do you know which one's the two? All right. So when you got a split back set, here's how it works, guys. The right halfback, the right back in the backfield becomes the 4. The left by default becomes the 2. If there's only one running back in the backfield, whether it's an A set, gun set, whatever pistol, they'll always predominantly be the 2 no matter which sidecar they're in. But when you got 2 running backs, 2 is on the left, 4 is on the right. Therefore, after the zipper orbit, Jaden Reed is your 2. So that's why we're saying 26 because 6 represents the C gap to the right, right? So first number is the potential ball carrier, which is Jaden Reed, the left halfback, or the left back, if you want to call it that. 26 fake. Then we're going to go X rub. All right, who's the X? Down here, right? So you're going to have the X is going to get up here and try to just rub up on a defender and free up the crossers, okay? So X rub post, and then you're going to have crossers, which is basically double crossers. I hope I don't have the receivers mixed up. I don't think I do. Then you got Tucker on a crosser here as well. And then it's going to end up being double flat. What does that mean? Remember, Jaden Reed is faking this handoff. He's just going to go ahead and continue out here and hit the flat. And then Josh Jacobs coming across is going to attack the flat underneath. So essentially what you got, Tim, these are the areas you're attacking. I got to be careful because it'll trigger a glitch in the system here if I go off screen. You're attacking this area with Jaden Reed. You're attacking this area with Josh Jacobs, right? You're really not attacking anything here. That's just to try to rub the safety so you can free up for the crossers. And
is
you
that
got
Rome at the X there?
It looks like it is. Yeah.
Okay.
To me, it looks like it's Rome. I could be wrong, but I think that's Rome there. So you got over here, and I'm pretty sure it's Rome that runs. I could have them wrong. So it might have been the F rub and the X crosser. We'll decipher that here in a second. But nonetheless, you can attack this window, this window, this window, this window. All right. So again, the play call, 11 gun, dubs right, Z zipper orbit, 26 fake, X rub post, crossers, double flat. And now that I think about it, I think it is Dontavion Wicks. So that's Bo Melton out there.
That's Bo Melton there. Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's Dontavion Wicks. So it was wrong. It would have been the F that would have been the rub, and Bo Melton's running the crosser. You see? So there's the crossers. Now watch Dontavion Wicks down here. You'll see what I'm talking about. He's not really running a route. Watch him. He's just going to try to get in the way right there. See him try to get a hand on him?
Yep.
And then look where the ball goes to Tucker.
Beautiful.
And that's a good example of the separation we were just talking about, right? Like, it's a good route by Tucker, but that's a hell of a scheme because that backer drifts off and goes to the flat with Josh Jacobs.
I was going to say, and a great job by Tucker not getting chipped by that backer as he's coming through.
Yep, exactly. So he catches it, and again, you guessed it. We got more yak yardage. Stiff arm.
Get off me.
Baby stiff arm. Body's laying everywhere. Take it for 6. Watch the end zone copy. This is a fun one right here, especially for the break in the tackle. So there you see the orbit. Can we appreciate Jordan Love real quick with the ball handling skills? Watch him. This is not easy to do, guys. Fake it, spin, get your side adjustment, know where you're going with the football, step into the throw. I love that he didn't lead him to the sideline because it'd been hard for him to stay in bounds. Like Jordan knows where the leverage is. Go on his back shoulder, turn him back inside. There's no threat for him to get popped with a hospital ball, right? So turn him back into the field of play, That's another, if he just puts it out there and plays it safe on the sideline, it's a 12-yard gain as opposed to a touchdown,
I agree.
But again, Tim, watch Tucker Kraft, man. Look at the carnage he leaves behind here, man. This is what you want to see in your starting tight end. Look at this. Look. Get down, little boy. Get down, little boy.
Great job by Tay Wicks again. Tay Wicks again down the field. Look at that blocking.
Yep.
Oh, love it.
Now, we do this all the time. I need y'all to help me, guys. Somebody screenshot this. Tag me on X at Packers_Access. Let's go red so they can see it. And just tag me and say splat. We do this all the time. What happened to these guys right here? What's going on here?
Somebody go look at this.
Exactly. Somebody let me get one more in right there. Okay. Somebody screen grab that. Tag me on Twitter. But Tucker is just leaving carnage behind him here.
Dude, that scheme. Can you go back to the end zone cam again? Pre-snap?
Yeah.
Right here. Okay. Take a look at 0 on the Rams. Their backer. Cam Curl. That's their safety, right?
Right.
Okay. So watch what the zipper orbit does to him.
Oh, yeah. All of them. Look at 51 and 56, Tim.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Frozen. Completely out of the play. All three of you guys.
Flat-footed, and now they're having to lean back in, right? Look at them leaning back in, trying to get back. And here's what's beautiful is 51, he rebounds okay, right? But he's going to take Josh Jacobs. When he takes Josh Jacobs, that's what leaves Tucker Kraft open. See him looking in? And just gets completely lost. And keep in mind, Dontavion Wicks out there trying to get in the way of the DB. Look at Bo Melton taking that crosser. That's how you end up butt naked. Because, again, this dude right here was focused on Josh Jacobs. Now, if that guy would have drifted back and took Tucker, guess where the football would have went? It went to Josh Jacobs. He had a full head of steam with Josh Jacobs. I'm telling you, man, Matt LaFleur does not get enough credit to him. He does not.
He doesn't. We're going to have to bring Lombardi home for him to get his props, man.
That's exactly what it's going to take. No doubt about it. All right, next play. Let's get to it. Let me take it back just a step here. All right. So now we're in 11 gun, Dubs left, Z Nasty. We're going to go T-cheat wing. What I mean by that is he's going to go out here and just kind of cheat outside a little bit, just a little bit wider to where he's not going to get the ball. And this is going to be a Y slip. This is a slip screen. A screen pass is real simple. Hesitate, then go out and you got blockers in front of you, right? A slip screen is when you block and then shed the block loose or shed the defender loose, slip back underneath, and you've got blockers out front. So again, Y screen, Y slip is going to be a block and then leak, sit, and then you're going to have bodies out front to block for you. I think Josh Myers is one, Rasheed Walker's one. Here's what's crazy, Tim. Nobody gets a hat on anybody, and Tucker Kraft does it himself. But again, use that little bit of cheat there, little eye candy. Watch Tucker. Block, slip. Here comes his blockers. Now he's got two guys out here, right? This should be easy. Walk in. Look, you got our boy Dontavion Wicks looking for work, right? Josh Myers should be able to get out here. You got, I think that's Sheed, I believe, right? Yeah, Sheed there. Yep. And it looked like Elton peeled back. And
Jacobs doing some work there at the bottom.
Yep. So everything, you got a hat on a hat, baby. This should be easy. Hate to pick on him. Watch Josh Myers. Doesn't block a damn person. Nobody. And Tucker literally just has to go and do it himself. And that's exactly what he does getting in the end zone. You'll see it really good from the end zone cam here.
Love how he's able to keep his feet just long enough to get in there.
Yeah. Watch the slip, guys. Little touch, slip. Let the boys get out front. Again, this is setting up pretty nice. Josh Myers just whiffs. That's what we're talking about with Myers, too. Myers, to be a physical freak, Myers is a physical freak. 6'5", 300 and however many pounds. And the dude he can move. He's got so much athleticism. It's just he doesn't – it's like a boxer, Tim. You get a boxer that's got perfect footwork, right? It's like, man, his feet are amazing. He dancing all around the ring, can avoid anything.
Can't hit nothing.
can't land a punch to save his life. That's where Josh Myers struggled. So I can understand the draft pick by Goody. Yeah. It just didn't work out because, again, how you arrive at confrontation determines how you handle confrontation.
It explains the free agent pickup of Aaron Banks as well. A big guy who can move and lay the hurt.
It's a perfect example, Tim, because on this play right here, guess what this would be? That would be Elton Jenkins out front.
Yep, exactly.
Like his chances there. Like his chances a lot better, right?
I really like, too, something I picked up just looking in the middle there as you ran it back. Can we appreciate Jordan Love changing the arm angle?
Oh, yeah. You'll
and
see it
looking
again.
right down the barrel of that pressure, because that's the guy that chipped and passed off.
Mm-hmm.
And he's throwing right towards the pressure, which obviously, that's kind of QB 101, right? Look behind that pressure, you're going to have an opening. Yeah. Just a great job changing the arm angle to get the ball to Tucker.
Yeah, 97 does a great job getting his hands up too. That's a good eye, Tim. Just a little sidearm flick.
Woo. Yep.
And don't let me forget, when we show the RPR, I think it is here in a little bit, you'll see him do that again. That's something Jordan does really well in these screen passes for sure. So, all right, man. What is this right here? I got to see what somebody said in the chat. Jake G126, I joined the channel, and all I see is arrows pointing at a player Kraft shoved in the dirt. That's right. And then he goes on to say, Gronk 2.0. You got it, baby. You got it. Welcome to the show. Hit that like button. Grab you a seat, man. All right, next play. So this is, oh, my God, Tim.
I remember this one. This is the one. This is the play of the year right here.
Listen, let me get me a drink on this one.
Take a sip.
Man. This might be my favorite play of the entire 2024 season, guys. Here's the play call. We got 11 gun, Trey right, flex 3, T-zip, check to X-whip, Y-post, wrap, T-safe. I hope I got all this right because I threw it together really quick earlier. Let me explain what's going on. 11 gun, right? You got one running back, one tight end. Okay, one running back, one tight end. That means it's a 3 wide receiver set. All right. Dontavion Wick said, I don't even know what the damn play is. They said, it don't matter. We're just going to Tucker. Just do whatever you want out there, bub. So here it is. 11 gun, Trey right. Trey right is when you've got 3 targets to the right, one of which is the tight end and Tucker Kraft. Okay. If it was all 3 wide receivers, we call it trips. Instead, we call it Trey. Trey means there's a tight end out there as well. Now, flex 3 means the tight end isn't attached. He's flexed out slightly, and he's the number 3, right? You count it from outside in 1, 2, 3, okay? You'll hear Dan Orlovsky break down tape from time to time, and he'll say, yeah, they threw to the 1, they threw to the 2, and he never explains why. That's what he means, is when you're trying to identify wide receivers on a particular play and you're not getting into the actual play call, you just go outside in 1, 2, 3, right? Over here be 1, and you could call the running back 2 if you wanted to. Okay, that's just how you identify. So flex 3, Tucker's the 3, and he's slightly flexed off the line. If it was flex 2, what would that mean? Tucker would be lined up here. If it was flex 1, he'd be lined up here, but he's flex 3. Okay, now here's what's awesome, Tim. They come to the line. Watch Jordan. So he recognizes this, little showing a little pressure, or is it man coverage? Could be.
Yep.
Now Jordan looks over to his left. And now he's going to go, you know what, let's motion out. All right, he goes with him. Is that man coverage? This kind of looks like 2-man under, or it's cover 2 zone. The fact that that guy went with him means he's not belling. So watch Jordan. He's going to come out here and let me just, let's check this thing. Check it. He goes to his wrist, right? And now what you're going to see is Tucker relay the message. See him looking up, relaying the message to Jaden, and I think that's Dobby up there maybe. And they're all communicating. So he pointed to his wrist, and here's what he checks to. We're going to go X whip. All right, so with X, he's just going to get out here and run kind of a little whip route, okay, and work the outside. In case they play inside leverage, you can go to that little whip route. We're going to go Y post, which is kind of a skinny post down the middle. All right, and then we're going to go wrap. Wrap concept's real simple. The 2 runs a curl, and the 1 wraps him with a dig. Now, notice something. You guys hear us talk about slot crosses and things like that. This looks a lot like slot cross. Matt LaFleur loves slot cross. Slot cross is when you get the inside receiver or the 2 run a crosser or a post, and the 1 runs a dig off the backside. You're washing the coverage out. If you don't have leverage up top, you come to the backside dig. In this case, you've got somewhat of a slot cross concept, and then you got a curl right in between it. But the easiest way to identify it when we're calling out the play is X whip, Y post, wrap, okay? So rather than say slot cross and then try to identify, is this the F? Is that technically the slot? The F is, is he the Z? What is he? We'll just say Y post, right? And then we're going to go wrap, curl with 2, dig with the 1. Now, T safe, this is what Jordan checked to. In my opinion, he changed the play at the line of scrimmage. You put your whip on down here, right? You kind of work it inside out. But I think he told Josh Jacobs, hey, man, stay in and block. Block for me. T-safe means he's staying in block. So now it becomes a 6-man protection. Now, Here's what Jordan's thinking, guys. He's going to eye down this safety on the left, right? The boundary safety. He's going to eye him down, hold him with the stripes on his helmet, and he's going to fire an absolute freaking missile to Tucker Kraft that's going to go right by the hand of this safety. And because he held him with his eyes and he has the elite, I repeat, elite arm talent and arm strength to throw this ball. If you don't believe me, guys, I think this ball was thrown. Somebody check me in the chat. Fact check me here. 66 miles per hour. This is the hardest thrown ball ever recorded in the next-gen stats era since they started clocking in-game passes. Jordan Love holds the record right now. I think it's 60. Is it 61? Thank you, Bates. I knew it was in the 60s. Someone commented on the tweet earlier and said 66. I know he's got the record, but they said 66. I think, man, I didn't know it was that much. So it is 61.98. Fastest recorded throw. Here we go. Thank you, Bates. Fastest recorded throw in an NFL game was by Jordan Love with the Green Bay Packers, clocked at 61.98 miles per hour against the Houston Texans in 2024.
We'll call it 62. That's close enough. I'm calling it 62.
We'll round it up.
And that's
baby.
like throwing a baseball 99, honestly.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's an absolute laser beam.
So check it out, boys. Look at them communicate. Jordan, go ahead and dust that cannon off. Get ready to launch this missile. Watch him hold the safety, hold the safety, hold the safety. Let that thing rip. Bang. Touchdown.
See what I mean when he can step and rip into a throw like that? Watch his feet when he lets this ball go.
This throw is unbelievable, man. Like, seriously, watch this. I wanted you guys to get the full effect of the check. And you see the defense, they're trying to sugar. The field safety trying to step up like he's doing something. That backer stepped up like he's going to press him or something. Nah, they're just sugaring. Look at him. Hold it. Look at the stripe. Hold it. Bang that thing in there. Boys, that's a big league throw right there. We're going to put this on loop 8,500 times. Look at that.
Look at him hammer that front foot down. Watch that left leg.
Bam!
Steps right into it. Cannon.
Look how close the defender's fingertips are to the football. You can't throw it any better, guys. You can't throw it any better.
And he knows a hell of a catch by Tuck Norris, too.
And he's looking that safety off, and he's got to protect Tucker as well. He don't want to put it too far on the outside shoulder, right? Mm-hmm. But can we take a second now that we've gazed over the absolute missile that Jordan Love just threw? Can we just take a second to appreciate Tucker Kraft's hands? Full extension, 61 miles per hour, full extension dive and catch.
Yep. Not the tightest spiral either. So it had a little wobble to it because he absolutely chucked it.
Yep.
Great catch by Tucker.
Unbelievable, man.
With your hands open like that, that's not easy to do, to catch a dart like that with your hand in that hand position. That's incredible.
And for a guy his size, Tim, to have the body control to turn midair and use his back to shield the ball so it doesn't get to the ground. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Unbelievable throw, man. Unbelievable. Good pass protection there, too.
Yep.
And I love that Tucker just raised up and goes, no big deal.
Yep.
Love it, dude. Absolute missile.
Yeah, great job by him laying out, too, because if you run that down, your momentum's going to take you out of the back of the end zone, and you probably don't get the score. Just to catch that, secure it, and then go right to the ground. Brilliant.
Yeah. Deadfish in the chat said that DB was thinking he had that LOL. I mean, he really did. It was almost like Jordan was trying to hold him with his eyes, and I honestly think the safety was trying to bait Jordan, and he got him to do what he wanted him to do. Yeah. He just didn't know Jordan
didn't think he was going to see a laser beam. That was the problem.
I think he had a cannon strapped to his shoulder. That's for sure, man. Oh, I love it, dude. Love it. And that's why you hear these general managers and former general managers talk about, if I were starting a team today based on age and upsize and, being able to potential with a quarterback, I would take Jordan Love because elite arm talent. That's what we're talking about. Greg Cosell said it. Mike Tannenbaum said it, former general manager in the NFL. A couple other unnamed general managers said Jordan Love might have the strongest arm in the league. So far, in the next-gen stats era, since we've started clocking, I understand there's people in the past that's probably thrown it harder. We don't have proof of that in game. So moving forward, it's going to be fun to see how long he holds on to that record for sure. Because, guys, Josh Allen threw a lot of lasers. None of them cracked, almost 62 miles per hour so far. So,
I mean, good news is the third-degree burns that Tucker had on his fingers after catching that one, they have healed up, and he's good to go.
Yeah, definitely. All right, man. Up next, this is the play. Remember I told you, Tim, one of the 7 touchdowns, Tucker really didn't have to fight for it. This is it, and this is all Matt LaFleur. So you see the quarterback, is Malik Willis. And this is what Matt LaFleur did so well, is just building a game plan for Malik Willis where he can just take layup after layup after layup, right? Don't put him in a bad spot. Don't get me wrong. Malik threw a couple of really nice throws last year. The back shoulder throw to Christian Watson in Tennessee, seen that one firsthand, beautiful throw. Also the out route that he threw, can't remember what game it was. He came in at Lambeau. Beautiful out route right by the defenders. So don't get me wrong, man. Malik Willis has got a nice arm on him as well. But this play here, this is all Matt LaFleur. We're going 12 pistol, twins left, right? 12 pistol, twin left, 22 RPR Y bubble. Let me explain what that means. You're probably going RPR. Is that a typo, Clayton? It is not. RPO is run pass option. RPR, also known as the six-back offense, RPR is run pass run option. Okay, let me explain what that means. So out here, everybody's just run blocking, if I remember correctly. Okay, so they're just looking to run block. Malik Willis is going to run an RPR, 22 RPR. Again, running back represents 2. 2 is A gap right. So we're going to fake a run. It's going to be a run design, right, where you can hand the ball off and go A gap right here. Okay, now the bubble, the Y bubble, Tucker is just going to block and then run a little bubble route here. It's not a screen. He doesn't have any lead blockers, but he's going to leak out here off of a block leak in the bubble, okay? Now, this is what Malik Willis is looking at. He's going to put the ball into the belly of the running back, Josh Jacobs, while watching this side of the line. If this side stays at home and protects against Tucker Kraft leaking, then you just hand the ball off and you try to pound this thing in for 6, right? But if this side breaks in, you pull the ball out and just dump it in the bubble. Matt LaFleur, an absolute scientist right here. Watch this play, Tim. This is beautiful. So you look at Malik Willis' stripe. What does he see? This guy's getting, Tucker's acting like he's blocking right now, right? And this is somewhat of a slip look. This guy's already committed to the run.
Yep.
So Malik's going to pull that out. Now, again, what's an RPR? Once he pulls this, he's got the hat count, right? You see he was late pulling it too, almost fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
So here's what's going to happen. Now it becomes a pass run option. Remember, we already got past the R, the run. Now we're into the pass run option. So now Tucker's going to leak out. If this defender goes with him, right, then guess what? Malik can run it into himself. Now, if that defender stays at home like that, now he completely bites on the run. Then just take the layup.
Easy.
Just dump it out. Bang. Tucker going to do the most Caucasian high step I've ever seen in my life. This guy right here is from the mountains of Caucasus.
Man, he's got that Air Jordan number 11 swag. Leave Tucker alone. He's got it.
Tim, I'm sorry, buddy. I love the shoes too, but that is 120% Caucasian. This man has no rhythm whatsoever on this high step. Look at this.
Oh, man. But you're right. That's absolutely – this is all Matt LaFleur, though, right here. Yeah. I mean, this is taking nothing away from Malik, who honestly, this is the type of offense you want to run with a quarterback like him. We saw way more pistol looks, I think, in the few starts that we saw from Malik Willis, and we definitely saw more RPR as opposed to RPO. So this is just scheme winning and guys executing. Great job by Malik, too. You're right. He pulled it a little late, and he didn't panic and was able to get the play done.
Yeah. H.E. Solder with the super chat. Thank you, Solder. He says, this is my one beef with Matt LaFleur. Not nearly enough of these easy red zone looks. They always seem to make it much harder than it should be. It drives me nuts. I understand what you're saying because you don't see this a lot with Jordan. But I think defenses play Jordan a little bit different than maybe Malik, Yeah. I think you make a great point, Solder. I do. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to look at it through every lens. And I think in this case, they knew, hey, if we come out here with an RPR look to the right, they're going to think we're really going to lean on Josh Jacobs because we got our backup quarterback playing.
Yep.
And then if we pull it, it's somewhat aggressive when you think about it. But boy, oh boy, did it work out great. But
aggressive, I understand what you're safe, right? It's still safe, right? Because he's got the RPR, right? You've got the option to run that ball, and that's a safe throw. That's a throw you trust your quarterback to make, backup or not. An easy little flick to a wide open tight end.
Yeah,
I think it's a good look. And to Soder's point, I think these moments, this in the Indianapolis game particularly, we started to see the Packers get away from that cute fancy pants crap that he's talking about in the red zone. And hopefully going forward, we see more of these looks.
Yeah, I agree. Soder, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I understand exactly where you're coming from there, man. Chuck Jaggers says that's a Texas two-step. That's what that is, Tim. So
you see that, right?
Take it.
Are you sure that's not the the Duval two-step there. You see what they got right underneath the right by Tucker there. He's running right towards that sign. Oh, that's right. This is Jacksonville.
Duval.
Tim, I'm telling you, look how awkward this high step looks, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. Watch him. He's like, I don't really know what to do, so I'm just going to kind of stomp in place.
That's the blue-eyed soul brother. We better leave him alone.
I absolutely love it, man. The spastic two-step. All right, let's get back to the tape. We wasted enough time. All right. Now, next up, this is against the 49ers. We're going to go 11 gun, dubs nasty, strong right, F zipper, curl flat, Y slip, Z slant, T rail. Whew, let's get into it. 11 gun, you know what it means. Dubs nasty, real simple. You guys
seeing a trend here with these plays?
Yeah.
They're all 11 gun.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. We have one at 12, right? That last RPR.
That last one. That was it.
Yeah. So, nasty split, real simple. Everybody's inside the numbers. It's condensed splits, and Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan's offense, they refer to them as nasty splits, all right? So here's the play call, F zipper. So we got to identify the zipper. Guess who it is? It's Jaden Reed, right? The F. So zipper motion, you're going to come across and then just go back and get a little extra leverage, okay? So that's your F zipper, all right? Curl flat is what it's going to end up being. So when he runs that, he's going to end up attacking the flat. I believe Jaden does. And this is just going to be a curl route here. I'm pretty sure. No. I think actually it might be F zipper. He's going to go out and run the curl. And I want to say maybe Dobby runs a flat. It's definitely a curl flat combo at the bottom. That's not the play side, but just keep that in mind. Now, the Z slant, real simple. He's just going to run a slant. That's our boy Christian Watson, right? You guys know what the Y slip is. He's going to do it again. He's going to block and then slip underneath on a screen pass, and you're going to get lead blockers out front here, okay? Now, what's the T rail? The T is a running back. He's going to run a rail route, okay? And that's kind of it looks like a flat, and then he actually goes up the sideline. It turns it into like a wheel route. That's what you call a rail route out of the backfield, okay? So, again, 11 gun dub nasty. 11 gun dubs nasty, strong right, F zipper, curl flat, Y slip, Z slant, T rail. And I love this play, Tim, because you got the screen. The offensive linemen don't get too aggressive. You've actually got a route combination down here. You got the slant if they get aggressive, and you can hit the Y slip late, right, underneath with the screen if you need to. And if you get everybody washed out over here, hammer the rail route. But it sets up really, really nice toward the backside. Watch Tucker here, right? So Jordan looks left, and he doesn't like his hat count over there, right? And you got a little bit of a rub going on here, but I think he's going to end up curling it off. So that was the flat. We did have it right, flat curl, right? Or curl flat, I should say. So you see the rail setting up here, Tim? That looks like it's going to be open, but Devondre Campbell's got it covered. They're playing decent technique on Christian Watson, and you got to be aware of this safety in the middle of the field as well. So Tucker's blocking. Now you see Zach Tom chomping at the bit to get out front, right? Watch the Y slip set up. Jordan's just going to bail out of everything, go to the slip, hits it. Look at Zach Tom, by the way. Great rebound there, Xing him out of the equation. I hate to do it again, Tim. Our boy Josh Myers, he's late to the party. And when he gets there, doesn't block a damn person. Matter of fact, Tucker Kraft has to run over him. You see it?
Tucker actually pushed him out of the way. Watch his left hand at the end. Right here. Get off me, Josh.
He literally truck stick Josh Myers, man. It's tough, man. Again, I hate piling on him, but it's going to be a huge improvement having Elton Jenkins play center this year and Aaron Banks at guard. Let's watch it right here.
Watch Jay Money's arm angle again. I hate to keep I keep seeing it. This is just incredible.
This is the one I was talking about, Tim. This is the one I told you to remind me on, and you did. Look at this. Guy in his face, little sidearm flip. I mean, that's as good as it gets right there, man.
And gets his left leg out of there before it's destroyed. Look at that.
Pull it out. Yep. That is one thing that worries me about Jordan. He don't care to stand in the pocket and take a lick.
Yeah, which is a good thing, but God, is it scary.
It terrifies me. Yeah, I wish he would learn to recoil a little bit more, like we seen Brett do all those years, and Aaron
Yeah.
learned it from Brett. I'd like to see him recoil back after the throw a little bit more. But again, that arm angle's sick. Now watch Myers. He's just late to the spot there and gets plowed. Gets absolutely flattened by Tucker. So anyway, there you go. There's another Y slip. And you guys see what I'm saying? Do y'all disagree in the chat? Other than the RPR play, Tucker's fighting for every single one of these touchdowns. It really is. All right, we got to go quick here now. This is similar to the Houston throw right here, Tim. This is fun too. We're going
11 gun again.
Yep, 11 gun, dubs right, nasty Z, shift the trips left, right, and that turns it into a nub right look, which is just the tight end's the only person on that side of the field. F slant wolf, Y dig T leak. Let's talk about what that means. So you're going to see the cheat motion over. Now it's a trips left. Remember what I said earlier between Trey and trips? That's what makes it trips. 3 to the left. And all 3 of them are wide receivers. Now, you can also call a trips left a nub right. That's a nub tight end. The only target over there, somewhat attached, only target on that side of the field. Now, the play call, if I can get this correct here in real time, we're going to go F slant. So who's the F? This is hard to identify, okay? Who's the F? There's your X on the line of scrimmage opposite the tight end, right? And you see Malik Heath, I think he's telling the official, I'm off the line here, right? Because it looks a little close. That would make him the X, okay? I believe that would make Malik Heath the, he's the F. That would make Malik Heath would probably be the Z in this case because he's off the line of scrimmage. And then this would make Jaden Reed your F here. So that's going to be your F.
But the Z is nasty, so
that would actually be your moving Z, matter of fact.
Okay.
So F slant. So here's what we got. Wolf, which is the number 2 is going to run an out route. They ran a lot of wolf last year. You got to have a quarterback that's got to have a cannon to do this, okay? So the wolf, the 2 is the out. The 3 is in the corner. I apologize. So they're going wolf here, the 2 out route, okay? The 3 corner route. That concept is called wolf, okay? Look at my writing with this. It's bad with a mouse. Look at that. Lord have mercy. And then you got the F slant underneath. So you're getting the defense to flow out, try to hammer the slant underneath if you can. And then you got a Y dig. So with the dig, he's really going to press this corner, Tim, and just try to last second dig this thing off. It almost looks like a shallow lake crosser or maybe even more of a slant than a dig, but I think it was designed to be a dig. And then the T is going to block and leak out as a safety valve for Jordan Love. So again, 11 gun, dubs right, nasty Z, shift the trips left, F slant, wolf, Y dig, T leak. Now let's just key in on Tucker and enjoy another throw by Jordan Love. Watch him press outside, and then here he gets inside. Look at Jordan, no hesitation. Notice this backer has got to cover the running back, so he's going to clear the throwing lane. Jordan, look at his stance. He is going to fire an absolute missile right here on the inside shoulder of Tucker. And watch Tucker once again go up and grab it. That's a hell of a contested catch, boys.
That's what you want your big boy tight end to do, right?
Yep.
Get up there. Get that little DB off of me. It's my ball.
Telling you, man, that's a heck of a throw. Look at the end zone cam. The end zone cam is so pretty, man. Look at this. The corner knows. He's like, how in the world do they fit that in there? Watch this end zone cam. Again, there's your motion to trips left.
Watch your boy Kirby Joseph get taken out of the play, too. Look at him. Because of what you said, that wolf concept on that side of the field. He had to go to that side of the field.
Had to wash it out and help. Yep. And look at Jordan holding with his eyes again. You see it?
Yep.
Watch Jordan's helmet. He's going to hold the left side and then hammer it in. Last second. Hold. Let that thing burn in there. Bang.
You're right. That helmet stripe might have been what got Kirby Joseph moving to his right.
Guarantee you it was.
Yep.
And again, Jordan's not worried about 47 because he's throwing, he's not in the throwing lane. Just step right into it and let that thing rip. Look at Tucker, man. Look at that grab. I got to go 50 here. This grab is unbelievable.
This is another one, open-handed, kind of an arm catch, but real similar to that one he dove and caught in the end zone.
Yep.
Not easy to do. What a grab.
Telling you, dude. Does that not remind you of the Houston grab? I know he was full extension in the Houston grab.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Window. And that's a missile. No one should ever question Tucker Kraft's hands, man. I'm just telling you.
I love it. And you got to love Jordan, the trust to know that, okay, the safety cleared. Linebackers clearing my throwing lane. I've got pressure coming. Tucker's covered. He's 100% covered. But I'm going to trust him to make this play.
Yeah.
I love it.
That right there's a big boy throw and a big boy catch, man. That's an elite catch.
Beautiful.
So,
and if Jordan's off with ball placement by a centimeter, that ball's picked off.
Yeah.
For
probably
sure.
getting batted into the air by the corner and possibly picked off by Joseph.
Yep.
I can see that happening for sure, or the backer there. But, yeah, so, again, does anybody disagree? Tim, do you disagree as we wrap this up, man? We went way over. I apologize. All of Tucker Kraft's touchdowns that we just showed you, all 7, only one of them was that RPR bubble, right? That was literally the only one that you would say, he didn't really do anything special, faked the block, slipped out in the bubble, and he did his assignment, right? But boy, oh boy, the others, you're talking about him running 60 yards and running over 2 players to get in the end zone. Another one, however many it was, 30 or 40 yard, running over, stiff arming 2 people, taking it in the end zone. Another one, stiff arming Harrison Smith and then running over the corner that was being blocked into the end zone. The other one, Josh Myers whiffing twice on 2 different Y screens, Y slips, and Tucker Kraft lowering his head, running over people into the end zone. So sometimes you see these stats, you see these touchdown numbers, and you think, that can be inflated. We have to go watch the tape. With Tucker's, no. He fought for all of these touchdowns, but that one RPR.
Absolutely. And, we can talk about his body control and athleticism, but when you're playing the tight end position, that's what you expect your tight end to do, right? Lower that boom and run through an MFer's face, just like we talk about our running backs, right? And we've seen that on tape, right? Taking 1 and 2, sometimes 3 guys with him, including a teammate there. Thanks, Josh, to the end zone. It just shows his willingness to be that physical tight end. He's not. I think Musgrave's probably more of our. He's relying a little more on that athleticism. I don't see the sheer physicality in his game that I see in Tucker's.
Yeah, definitely. As Soder says, man, when love sets his feet, watch out. It's so true.
Yep.
So true. All right, Tim, let's give away an autographed Kingsley and Igbare rookie card. Sound good, man?
Yes, sir.
All right. Somebody in the chat, give me a number between 1 and 10. If you're new here, we do giveaways, random giveaways throughout the year. If you're a member on YouTube or you're a member, not a subscriber, but a member on YouTube or a member of our Patreon group. If you have to choose between the two, I would say go to Patreon. Patreon, you get a lot more bang for your buck. $3, you get access to everything and all the extra content over there. Deadfish says 8. What we do here, we're going to shuffle it 8 times so no one says it's rigged in the chat, although it's already been commented twice, so you guys are on point tonight. Let's go 8 times, right, Tim? Is that what he said, 8?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's spin this sucker. Whoever it lands on wins the autograph Kingsley and Igbare rookie card. And the winner is...
Big money, no whammy.
Zoom in here a little bit, too. Big Cheese Meat Packer. All right, there you go. Big Cheese Meat Packer.
That should be easy to verify.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's faking that one, right, Tim? So that is the winner of the Kingsley and Igbare rookie card. We're going to spin it 2 more times in case Big Cheese Meat Packer does not come forward. If we'll give him about a week. If he doesn't come forward, then the autograph card will go to
Oh, we know who that is. We're going to have to spin it again.
Now we get to find out, Tim. Just so you guys know, the winner, the second place winner is Rusty Dingus. All right. Stop, Tim. Stop.
Oh, my goodness.
I assumed this was Jacob when he joined the Patreon group. He said it wasn't him.
Put that name in my mouth right there.
Now we get to find out, Tim, because if this gets shipped, if Big Cheese Meat Packer does not come forward and get his prize and this gets shipped just outside of Minneapolis, we know it's Jacob as Rusty Dingus, all right? And we just canceled the shipment, to be honest with you. So Rusty Dingus is the second place winner. Again, if Big Cheese Meat Packer doesn't come forward, he will get the card. Now let's spin it one more time, Tim, just in case Rusty Dingus isn't a real person. And the third place winner, if those 2 knuckleheads don't come forward, it will be RKABRX. Wonderful.
Y'all are killing me with these names.
I'm telling you, why can't we just get a John or something? You know what I mean? Like something like that.
Who?
The actual winner is Big Cheese Meat Packer. Shoot me a message, packerstotalaccess@gmail.com, or if you're on Patreon, send me a DM on Patreon. We'll get your address and send that card out to you. Thanks to everybody who's supporting the show. Appreciate y'all so much. We'll be back tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Central Time for PTA Live. If you're new here, hit subscribe so you can stay plugged in with us as we'll be going live daily throughout training camp. Football season's here, Tim. I'm ready, bub.
I'm ready too, baby. We're only a couple days away. Let's go.
All right, we're out of here, guys. Everybody have a wonderful evening. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. And go, Pack, go.
Here we go.
We're out. Bye, guys.